Hello to the camera and to the ether. I think we're in a different. Ooh, yes, that's better. That's better. No, I don't want it to move around. Why are you tracking my face? Oh, okay, that's better. Still tracking my face. Fuck. I don't know why that's happening. Okay. Okay, that's super, I guess. Yeah. Today I woke up and I didn't feel like going into the office because I was just tired and man, I fucking I can't give an excuse. I was just being a lazy bastard, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm burnt or sorry. I don't know if I'm like burnt out or if I'm just this is just an excuse for me to not work as hard as I can or I don't know, man. But just everything sounds like an excuse at this point. But I just spent the whole day sitting on the couch watching TV and sleeping in between. And I don't feel particularly good about it or bad about it. I just feel like if I had another day of this that would be amazing. That I'd be like, you know, that I can take on work again. But I don't know if this is a healthy coping mechanism. If it's like fucking sitting on the couch all day and like watching TV. I don't know if this is what I would be doing if I was taking actual rest. And perhaps actual rest is supposed to look a different way, or rather, I'm not so sure if this is me being tired and needing rest or me just being a lazy fuck. Now, I have considered the possibility that maybe I need to schedule in a rest day here or there because, like, if I use my Sundays to do other work, then I end up being very tired of the week as well. But nonetheless, what's done is done. I don't feel particularly good about taking days off like this because it makes for a lot of indiscipline, and I end up just giving in to a lot of my addictions if I sit at home. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe it's just maybe the problem is I still don't understand how exactly to use moderation. This is one of the drawbacks that I feel in my life of not understanding or rather not being able to adapt to moderation. Like a lot of things, my lack of moderation is something that's allowed me to push harder, but uh, and impulsivity is something that's allowed me to explore new things. But both of those things combine to make me do perhaps unreliable shit like this, which is I took a day off unprompted and then just spent it all day on the couch, except for towards the very end I went to the gym after having to convince myself quite a bit. And I don't know, I feel like I need like 2 to 3 days of just sleep and doing nothing and then I'll be fine. But then I'll be guilty about all of the life that I missed in the process, all of the progress that I missed in the process. There is no winning with this. Oh shit, the tag is still on. Oh, it's still on here. But nonetheless, it's not a problem. Not. It's not like I'm gonna go return this. This is something I got elsewhere. But yeah. Um. Sorry, I got distracted. But as I was saying, there's no winning with this. There really is no winning with this. Like I'm not so sure. Okay, do I regret this day? Yes. Would I have regretted it less had I gone into the office? Yes, then I chose the wrong regret. And I chose the wrong regret. Not because I spent the whole day doing nothing, but because I didn't schedule it. Because it kind of breaks my consistency and my discipline. Maybe if I schedule it, like maybe if I put in one day every 2 weeks where I'm like just fucking like, oh shit. Apparently I've consumed all of my disk space. But nonetheless, one more distraction. Let's ignore that. Um, but yes, the fact that it's unscheduled is what throws me off. Like it makes it undisciplined. Perhaps it's a little bit too much chaos because if I can schedule the days that I sit and like just fucking rot, I think that would be better. Because that way I would have control over it, and it's not the desire having control over me, and it's me having control over the desire instead. And today, I'll be honest with you, today was just microdosing hedonism. The whole day was spent just indulging in what the fuck I felt like indulging in. And I don't know if I regretted it. I don't know if I regret it as much. I just feel like I'll sleep and I'll be fine in the morning. It's almost like I'm telling myself that I needed this, but none of it particularly feels natural. Like none of it feels like a healthy thing to do. But then again, I don't know. I don't think I'm a very particular. I don't think I'm a particularly healthy individual in the sense that my mechanisms are yeah, my mechanisms are not healthy ones, and perhaps perhaps that's what it takes to do what I want, do all the things that I want to do, and be as good as I want to be. And I don't know. If I were speaking to a friend and my friend was the one that was living life like this, I don't know what I'd say. There is no instinctual right answer that comes to me, unlike so many other situations that we've discussed before. That there's usually some answer sitting behind the stories that I tell myself. There's usually something that I'm plastering over, that I'm obscuring, that becomes revealed when I think about it long and hard enough. But that's not the case with this. I don't know. Am I expecting that am I deluded enough to believe that I'm on the path for some kind of greatness, and because I'm the path for some kind of greatness, all of the chaotic and destructive things that I do become justified because of it. I am I'm never advocating, never will justify harm towards another human being, but this feels like the whole cycle of it all feels harmful. Feels harmful. Like if a person outside of me looked at it, they might think that it's harmful. I don't feel I don't feel any harm in the way that I'm living life, but then again, it's almost like the addict's dilemma, right? Like Like, the addict's dilemma is that they think they're reassured in their thought that they can give up anytime they want, and the reassurance is that they simply don't want to give up right now. But what if that is not the case? What if they truly are addicted and they just don't realize it? What if I am unhealthy in the way that I am, and I just don't realize it? But my question then becomes, what difference does that make? I'm not hurting anybody else. uh, Worst comes to worst, at the end of the day, I'm like destroying some part of me. I'm fine with that. But I'm not so sure if I'm 100% fine with that. I'm not so sure if I'll be fine with that down the line. See, this is the problem with any decision you take in life, right? You, you might be able to justify it now, but maybe like 2 years down the line, you don't know if that will be the same case. If you don't know if the you that spoke for that decision now will be the same you 2 years down the line. Then maybe the key is to fuck. Maybe the key is to be formless. Maybe the key is to not attach yourself too much to any one way of life or one identity, to the point where you let that default identity inform all of your decisions. Maybe maybe it's your job to question. Maybe it's your job to ask questions before you make each decision. I'm not talking about the trivial decisions in life, like what are you going to eat, where are you going to sleep. um, but but are they really trivial? And if I decide to eat like trash and sleep very little and adopt that as a lifestyle, that has long term consequences that I might not like down the line, right? See, it all comes back to this delicate balance again, about it's the delicate balance between perhaps not worrying too much about the future, but also worrying enough that you don't have too many regrets. But that's the problem, right? The problem again is that you don't know the degree to which you will be able to tolerate the mistakes you make today. And it's and invariably you're going to make mistakes today, even if you're convinced that you're not going to make mistakes. I don't know, maybe it's my idea that fundamentally humans will make mistakes, that it's almost like a circular logic thing. Because I believe it, I make mistakes, and in turn justify my belief in it. See, and all this from one day of playing hooky. Like, this is when that quote, it, all of the logic, all of the meaning that we've given our life is a house of fucking cards. You ask, you slip away from the routine once, and it all falls away into nothing, and you're like, fuck. Why the fuck was I doing that? What am I doing here? And not so sure if that's a question that you should ask yourself too many times, because the end result is always nihilism. The end result is always fuck, nothing has meaning. But why the fuck are we doing things the way that we are? Except for perhaps that we've all collectively created this system where we have to commit to things that that have to happen a certain way. I don't know, beats hunting and like foraging for food and living in a hut, I guess. Or does it? I fucking don't know, man. I don't know. See, that's another problem with the. See, this is a what is that? This is another branch story. I'm like, I'm translating Tamil in my head, which is Kilai Kadai, which is branch story, which is when you deviate from the main story and go off into, yes, this is a tangent. That would be the English equivalent. This is a tangent. I feel like that's where that's where the justification of colonizers saying they were bringing civilization falls away, because what really is so noble about civilization that you think that um, that you think that is that elevates civilization over whatever the fuck was there before it. Consciousness is a disease, man. It's a communicable disease that you pick up only when you can, only when you've unlocked language. Because I guess without language you just have monkey hungry, monkey eat food, monkey climb tree. That's it. And none of there's no words. They're just like their actions. They're direct. There's stimulus and action. Now with language, you don't even need a stimulus. With language you can. It's almost like you can create a stimulus. Man, I kid you not. Like, all of life, when you start questioning it, feels like one giant acid trip. Not that I've ever done it, but just holy fuck. I see, I like to think that I've been questioning these things ever since I got introduced to philosophy. But there's always the itching doubt in my mind whether my exposure to altered states of mind, sorry, chemically altered states of mind, has me now questioning life, and has me convinced that I have been questioning life even before I was in these chemically altered states. It makes you question the validity of your memories and the validity of reality itself. See, now, whether or not reality is valid is not really a very important question. Is nonetheless you feel you is the Rene Descartes. It's the idea of Rene Descartes, which is I think, therefore I am. I love the Latin. Love the Latin phrase for it, but I forgot it. It's ah uh, cogito cogito or some, no fuck. I don't remember the Latin phrase for it, but nonetheless, the idea is I think, therefore I am. So even if reality is not something that's real, fuck that. It's valid as long as you can feel it and exist through it and change it and perceive it, right? But then the next question is of the human, is of your existence. Now your existence is dictated by the rules that you set. Your existence is dictated by the rules that you set for yourself. And those rules are also something that are invariably, those rules are also things that are invariably affected by your environment, your upbringing, and the people around you, the stories that they have told you, and also the story that you write for yourself. So it then trickles down into this mix of stories that then help you inform the decisions that you make in your life and the ideas that you subscribe to, which, if you take that story away, there's a gaping hole. There's literally nothing that I can think of that's there's literally nothing that I can think of that can fill that hole that dictates behavior, except for the stories that we tell ourselves. And that's such a frightening thing, right? Because you ask the question, what if you're telling yourself the wrong story? And the next question is, what is the wrong story? Are there right stories? What is wrong and right? Wrong and right? Fuck. Oh my god. See, the only guiding principle that I can think of is that you shouldn't cause too much human harm. And then I started questioning, okay, if I shouldn't cause too much human harm, then I should probably continue on my individuation journey, try to make money for myself, try to, build independence, so that I don't uh, scare my parents, because I owe them a lot. Because if I don't think I'd like the life either if I quit my job and went off into a forest and just survived, because I don't have the necessary skills or knowledge to survive in a forest. I'll probably die in like 2 days max. But I don't know. Ooh. Maybe that's enough questions. Maybe no matter how many times I come back here, it's always going to be that abyss only, that there's no point in asking too many questions. Maybe there is some uh, maybe there is some sense in some kind of like intellectually lobotomizing yourself, so that you shouldn't be asking too many questions either, because that's a little detrimental to existence. Or rather, you shouldn't be asking too many questions all the time. Like, you pick a story, you believe in it for a decent amount of time. Oh, I've also realized that I can't remember a lot of things. Like, things that I have done, and my like temporal awareness, let's call it, is like wacky as shit. Like, I can't remember what I was doing in 2021 or 2022 or even 2023 for that matter. Fuck, I barely remember 2024. And I'm not so sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm leaning towards bad. Because I feel like if I can't remember the things that I've done, then I don't know if I'm reliving the same moments again and again, reliving the same journeys again and again, and oh my god, is this the oh my god, is this the cycle of life that Hinduism talks about? Holy fuck, am I living the same life again and again? Am I living the same life again and again within the same fucking janma or whatever? Oh dude. Ooh. Oof. Oh, then for me, liberation within my life will be pretty easy, if that is the case. Which is, liberation within my life would be just to remember everything that I'm doing. As simple as that sounds, it's not particularly easy, but it's simple. I just have to remember everything that I'm doing and like shit. Despite the fact that I keep a diary, take a bunch of photos, I don't remember many of the things that I was doing. I don't remember what significant things I did in 2023 or 2022 or 2021. Know that okay, 2021 and 2020 were pretty much all taken away by COVID, but I can't remember shit. And I don't know, maybe I'm convinced there's an abyss because I cannot remember shit. Or rather, because I'm convinced there's an abyss, I cannot remember shit because I think nothing matters and that's why I don't remember shit. Man, fuck the stories, man. They're yes, language is the basis for all reality. Can't start questioning it too much. It all falls apart. House of Cards. We're gonna slap some tape on it until we can read some books about it and think about and get some ideas from other human beings who have struggled with the same thing, because at the moment I have nothing to say to you except for once again solace bud, right there with you in this confusing, exciting, meaningless, meaningful, because all of the words you give the meaning, like journey through this pale blue dot in space. Also, pale blue dot is heating up, so let's try to not trash this fucker before it decides to kill us. So, yeah, global warming is real, guys. Just no matter how much you question the validity of reality, global warming is very real. It'll wipe you out. Like it doesn't care if it doesn't care whether whatever you're feeling is real or not. Like the same way, you may not think that the fire is real, but it will still burn. It will hurt. So just keep that in mind. Shit, that's the attitude to adopt in life. So real or not, it's going to have consequences. And as soon as the consequences become very like feelable, if I'm not so sure if that's I'm definitely not sure, sorry, I'm definitely sure that's not the right word, but fuck it. Yeah, as so if the consequences become feelable, then try to make the consequences a good feeling and not a bad feeling. Holy fuck. I feel like I'm not saying anything that makes any sense at all. But then again, what is making sense? And I think this would be the perfect time for me to end this stream, because if I speak anymore, it will be absolutely useless. But yes, to anyone to anyone who's feeling as hopeless and hopeful at the same time, because all of this has no meaning. Because all of this has no meaning, right? If anyone feels a little despair because of that, don't worry about it. I think everyone is there, no matter what they think. It's just a matter of it's just the fact that they haven't discovered it yet. That's all. And I think once you discover it, it all becomes a lot more lighter. There's like a load off your shoulder. That if nothing is real, I can stop being so serious about life all the time.